Damn, wrong one. That's not the train I wanted at all.
Shall we play a game?
G'day there, folks. And yes, I'm all wet. Bit like this train. That's okay. We're waiting for the brakes to release. Could be a little while. Hello, that train guy. How are you? I have two streams running again today. I have a vertical stream and a horizontal stream. I think we'll pop out and go flying up the back and just see how this pump-up's going. Because I've only just started this service. So we're going to take this horribly underpowered train, which only has 2 lead locomotives, up the grade, and just to make it even more annoying, I made it rain. Not that it looks like it's raining when you're flying along here, but that's okay. It's an old route. How's the pumpage going? 40. Would have a little while to go yet then. Let's just sit here and watch this and do nothing else. Hello, Mark B. How are you? 50. No, it's pumping up pretty quick. We might be okay. You might ask, why is he all wet? Because I dropped this on myself, because I'm clever. Very, very clever. At the same time, I think I might have some calorific sustenance in the form of a can. It's not what you think it might be on a Friday afternoon, though, because I'm firing a steam engine tomorrow, so I can't have what I'd rather be having right now. I have to have a bouncy bubble beverage instead. I am well, that train guy. Hopefully you're well as well, and hopefully you're good too, Mark. I cannot for nuts see how many people are in each stream. Oh, there we go. That's better. If you're in the vertical stream, the very first comment I popped in there is a link to the horizontal stream, if that's something that you prefer. If you're watching in the shorts feed, go right ahead. Very soon now. In fact, I think probably about now I can probably release the independent brake and start powering, because we can probably start to move, even though the brakes aren't fully released yet, I would think. Let's give it a go. As usual, rail drivers being hyperactive. Hope everybody is good this fine and sunny, not rainy, yes, afternoon in, well, it is for me, where I am. Now, I'm not powering. Why aren't I powering? Oh, I know why I'm not powering. It's because I'm an idiot. Okay. Here we go. Let's crouch down here and turn on a switch. That one. Right. Now we'll be able to power. This will work much better. Okay. There we go. Powering this time. I noticed the airflow meter is also starting to drop back, so we probably are beginning to release the brakes in the back. So I'll just power away gently. Hello C, how are you? That train guy says, will I get the new Microsoft Flight Simulator when it comes out? No, I like being on the ground. Not really a flying person. I kind of do it when it's necessary. Come on, rail driver, turn the bell off. No one needs to hear that. So as you can tell by how fast this is starting to move, and it's on the level, it's a bit slow. But that's okay. Let's get her moving. Let's get those Gretas erupting from the stacks. We need at least 8 Gretas per minute. Hope you're well, C. You feel a lot better today, and back pain has gone. That's good. I'm well. I had an interesting day at work, and my other half is stuck in her job at the other end of the house, taking calls, so I thought, why don't I run a stream for a little while? So we have a lot of variation in the branding on our containers. They're either blue CSX or white CSX, and that's about all there is to it. So I think we've watched enough of those. Let's go back up the front. So where are we going? We're on Sandpatch Grade. We are leaving Cumberland. We're going down Little Hill. And then we're going to go up a very big hill, which starts about here where this marker is. And we're going to go all the way up there. And I don't know if we'll make it, because I'm putting a time limit on this. I'm putting a time limit of 90 minutes on it. So if we're not there in 90 minutes, we won't be getting there. Interestingly, the airflow meter is still going. Your mum's getting a new bed today. Fair enough. When I first read that, I thought you said your mum was getting a new head, and I thought, no, that's a bit weird. And then I thought, I should look at that again. Because getting a new head's just, that's a little bit unusual. I did get my new toy ready to play the new upcoming Train Sim World VR edition. And I've also started looking into the mod for the standard edition to be able to run it in VR. I have yet to figure out how to stream the thing, but we'll see how we go. We fly through Cumberland at a whopping 27 miles an hour. We're not on full power though, because we'll be going downhill shortly. Like, there we go now. And I think the speed limit drops down here somewhere too. Yes, there's a 15 coming up, so I suppose I should behave myself. Let's just keep a little bit of power on to keep the train stretched out so we don't break anything. And we'll just give it a light braking application just to start slowing us down. We will probably be going too fast by the time we get to the 15, but that's fine. And let's bail off the locomotive. I'm not sure if the game this old actually supports bailing off. Does it? Yes, it does. Look at that. Beautiful. I have noticed it's decided we don't need to power anymore. There we go, because I do actually want to keep the train stretched out a little, even though we will be going too fast. How too fast? How do I know? Is there a speedo in here? Oh look, it's Useless. G'day, Useless. You weren't there before. When did you pop in? No speedometer. Well, by that definition... Oh, there is a speedometer. That's a pity. Well, we'll just pretend that says 15, won't we? See, look, see? It says 15. 20, 15. Perfect. Hello, Benjamin's brain in a jar. Slightly speedy, yes. In fact, I think we can come off the brakes now. C paid $2 grand for his new bed and still waiting for a mattress. That's the way. I got one of those newfangled mattresses in a box, and I have to say it was actually okay. Let's look at that rail driver jiggling. See, people keep trying to tell me that the rail driver handle jiggling is a new thing. Can you see this? Clearly it's not. And just out of interest, before you tell me I'm running TSW5, yes I am, but I did actually run this side by side in Train Sim World 3 the other day, running side by side with 5. I finally found a way to make my computer hot. I better get some juice into this thing or we won't be going anywhere. If you are new to the stream and you've picked us up in the shorts feed, welcome, how are you? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, I did want to fly down here and look at it going through the crossing, but I couldn't. Maybe we'll fly down to the next one instead. That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Come down here. There's another one just down here somewhere. We do have the green light, so we can keep the power on. Ah, silence. Yeah, they even stop in Sandpatch Grade. How about that? So we'll get to see this crossing actually work, I hope. Let's stand over here. This should be a good spot. At some point soon, we should hear the train come. And then I'll start hooting. Why don't I play TSW 2020 again? Well, I could. It is in my library. It's actually kind of funny. I was on British Ace's stream the other day, who's another streamer. Use the shift key, Jaden Sato, who's in the vertical feed. If you are on a console, you can plug in a USB keyboard and do that. At some point a train will come. I'm confident of this. Maybe we'll go and see how close it is. I think I flew down here a lot faster than it is. Well, it's not going backwards. I can just see it up there. Just see it. Ooh, look at you driving through the footpath. You're good. Wow. Through the building! I've got to watch this next guy do this up close. This is riveting, this is. Here we go. How to trash a Mercedes. Here we go. And... he got stuck. Probably because I'm standing in front of him. Never mind. He's going to honk at me now, and that's fine. Because we should be seeing our train shortly. I can kind of hear it. Welcome back, Arjit. Otherwise known as Mad Max. How close is it for that final on the 4? Here it comes. And it looks kind of cool. Oh, we're going too fast again, aren't we? Never mind. I'll pretend to care later on. This is me caring. I like the way they kind of do a sideways drift going around there. How's our Mercedes guy? He's still stuck. Should we let him out? Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Come on. There you go. Bit of cloud action happening there. Oops, next crossing. Oh, and there's another one straight after. Looks pretty good for a route that hasn't been touched since TSW2 when it got a little bit of a remaster. That's it for the crossings for a little while, I think, as we come out of Cumberland here. Bugface Music! Welcome! Enjoy the lurking, please do. Arjit says, I'm back again. Excellent. Vertical people, I did put a link into the horizontal format stream, so if you want to watch a full wider variety, you certainly can if you want to. Because we pretend to care that we're going too fast. We won't be soon, it'll be fine. Perfectly okay. Nothing to see here. I think we should join the little crew member over here in the ute, don't you? Oh, we can't quite get there. So we're doing fine so far. I am deliberately getting a little bit of a run up. I wonder if we can get to that wet patch. Everybody likes a good wet patch. Because we're going to be going up a very big hill soon. It'd be interesting to see if this train can actually do it. Nightbot likes you, that train guy, what can I say? And Arjet, looks very cool if you try not to see the car stuck inside the building. Yes, nothing to see here, move along. That's part of the joy of this game, is the dumb things. We all know they're dumb things. You just look at it and you go... I think that's enough for watching those through the puddle. We're now in the dark part of the route, but I have to say the night lighting is not too bad. Because what do streamers say the golden rule of gaming is? Never stream in the dark. It's dark. I'm breaking the rules. Oh no! We're going to come up on a little town shortly, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I've been in San Patch Grade. Oh wait, no it hasn't. I did it on Wednesday. Wednesday? Tuesday. Tuesday I did it. That's it exactly, Arjit. You see it, you laugh, you move on. And sometimes you go back and you see it again and have another laugh. It's just part of the fun. There's basically two kinds of people in the world who deal with games. There's people who go, well, that's funny. And there's people that go, well, that's ruined the experience for me. I can't play this game anymore. And now I'm going to get onto the forum and I'm going to write 2,116 posts about why I'm unhappy. You could certainly do that. If you wanted to do that, let me get you a link. There you go. I'll pop it in the chat. So if you feel like moaning about the dumb things we're seeing, jump on the forums and let them know. I'm sure they'll love it. Captain Fantastic in the vertical stream. Hello. What's the coolest fact do you know that you never get a chance to tell anyone? I know that water, when it expands into steam, increases its size by 2,700 times. There you go. Yes, Benjamin, it's clearly totally unplayable. You're absolutely correct. People should be hung, drawn and quartered. Go annoy the school bus. None shall pass. We'll just make him wait now, because he won't run over me. That's probably enough, isn't it? Oh, Ben! Can't let the school bus go, though. Back we come to the train, and I'll try and be mindful of the vertical feed. Now, what is interesting is it's telling me I actually can't power. You see this red thing up here? That's going, your train's not working, but clearly it is. Also clearly unplayable. Almost forgot a crossing. Squeeze the 4 out just in time as we run up into Notch 8 for the purposes of blasting even more Gretas into the sky. Hello, Mark B. Oh yes, I've said hello to you before. For those of you who are wondering what I mean by blasting Gretas into the sky, there's that wonderful lady, Greta Thunberg, bless her, who campaigns against everything. Anything that makes this happen is not allowed, according to her. So I measure the exhaust in trains in Grettas. This is about an 8 Gretta load. As you can see the exhaust plume flying up here. You can't see the exhaust plume flying from here because we're in the wrong place. But if I change cameras and go out to this one, we can probably get to the point where we can. Probably. Somewhere. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe only one of them works. We'll find out soon, because if we don't get up the hill, we'll kind of know. Is that a crossing? I think that is a crossing. This is the beloved American way of blowing train horns. Excessively. As we cruise our way up the sand patch grade. Still going too fast, but that won't last much longer because we're going to start going up the hill soon. That train guy is only on the forums for the screenshot competitions, and Mark B says I stopped looking at the forums, too much negativity. If people in either of the streams is wondering where the comments are coming from, if you can't see them, I've got 2 streams running simultaneously. I have a vertical one, which is going into the shorts feed, I think, and I have a horizontal one, which is running in the normal place of feeds. So we'll keep this in notch 8. Maximum juice. There we go. There's a little 8 down there. Arjit says in India it's also the same, honk successively. I'd actually suggest, Arjit, having been to India, that Indians take honking to the next level. Indians honk so much, I think they probably do it in their sleep. You can certainly tell when there's a vehicle coming towards you in India. The trouble is there's about 800 of them, and they're all doing it. And everyone's trying to outdo the guy next to him in the ability to make noise. I felt like being a worm for a moment, or maybe a snail. Oops, crossing. So I think this was actually the first route for Train Sim World when it came out as TSW Heavy Haul. Oh, look, another train. Run through the pedestrian crossing. Didn't kill anyone. It's a good day. I see a few old liveries from Creators Club floating around here, because I still have some. I think there's some Halloween stuff too. $50 mph now as we head on the uphill gradient. Are you curious where we are? We're approaching Hindman, which is where the marker is, before we get into the mountain climb properly. This little spot here, I'm guessing, was once your passenger station, but it is now all fenced off and no longer in use that way. Good to see some garbage and trash around the place. Ooh, we're inside a box. That's okay, we'll just stay here. Imagine living up here. You could just sit out here on the back porch on your rocking chair, watching the trains go past. And in this particular area of the United States, you're probably sitting here on your rocking chair with some moonshine and a shotgun, because these things go together. And of course, if we're rocking, we have to do this, don't we? That's enough bell out of you. We have managed to exceed 50 miles an hour. We have started going up the gradient now. You can... Actually, the vertical stream people can't see it, actually, but we are starting to go up the gradient. The gradient's 0.2% now, so it's not a heavy one at all. Whistleboard going by there. Arjit says it's like the birthright after we start driving. Yeah, it seems that way. But that's cool. That's just the way things are done there. It's funny when you see Indians come to Australia because they first start driving and they go bonk, 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 and then they realise absolutely no one else is doing it. Everybody's giving them dirty looks and they go... And they look kind of sad. Like one of their toys has been taken away. Coming up into the next little town. Another pedestrian crossing coming up here. That's enough warning to the pedestrians. After all, if they can't hear this train, it's pretty loud. And we won't have to worry about going 5 miles an hour over the limit for much longer, because we probably won't be. I'd be surprised if we can maintain this speed on the hill. Ajit still remembers when he started in Train Sim World 2, Sandpatch Grade, a hard time to start the train moving and go up the hill. Yeah, the secret most of the time is to turn on banking com before you do anything else. But I'll let this run right out to the end this time and you'll see why there's no point turning on banking com. So this seemingly never-ending train should be coming to an end very soon, because it can only be 50 cars long in this version. There it is, and there you see why there's no point turning on banking com. We only have 2 locomotives. So we've got 4 miles until the really steep bit starts. So we will continue running as hard as we can. I won't be running late today because I do have to get up very early tomorrow morning because I am firing a steam engine tomorrow. Hello Violet, how are you? I bet you didn't walk around much today, Violet, a bit wet. But I'll be running a steam engine tomorrow on the Heritage Railway, and I have to be up there quite early. So I certainly won't run late tonight. I think I just saw some lightning. I didn't even know this route had lightning. I thought it was too old. PTL Train Spotting, hello, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Kuminati, welcome as well. The bonus, thank God it's Friday stream, yes. Maybe thank the Grinch it's Friday. If you're in the vertical stream and you prefer a horizontal stream, scroll back to the first comment and there is a link to the horizontal one. Or you can just go to my profile and click on the current live stream. Just choose the one that doesn't say vertical. I wonder what this scenario marker's for. Let's have a look. I'm not sure if it'll tell me on the camera. No, it won't. But we can probably tell, because if we go into the map, if we go back a little bit, should be able to see it. There it is. Westbound climb. How about that? We're climbing properly now, 0.6. Just a small country crossing. There's actually someone there. Wow. We are running up Sandpatch Grade, which I think is in the Allegheny Mountains. I do agree, Kuminati, but Kuminati says that YouTube needs a better way to have streams organised for vertical versus horizontal. I would love to just stream horizontally and frame it in the horizontal stream and say, make this bit short. Because that would be easy. But 1.7 miles to the bottom of the really steep bit We're doing very well so far. We're still running at 50 miles an hour, so we've lost 5 mile an hour in the last mile. So, it doesn't bode too well for actually being able to get up the hill with only 2 locomotives. One of them's relatively powerful, and the other one's an SD40-2. So with 2 SD40s, whoops, missed a crossing. With 2 SD40s-2, I know you can't do this, but maybe with the big one, maybe we can. We'll see. Violet says vertical sucks. Much prefer landscape. We had that conversation when we met in Frankston. Oh, gratuitous bridge shot coming up. We have to go take it. That was a bit jerky. Where's the bridge? Okay, I give up. Where is the bridge? There it is. Gratuitous bridge shot. I'm hoping to have some new music for the channel shortly, because I've got a local artist named Hannah working on that. Hannah Silver. Very, very talented musician. She and I both share a love of Moog synthesizers, so you can guess what kind of music she's making for me. I've got a proper crossing coming up, so I suppose I should whistle for it. We have got these stationary caboose models over there. We'll pop back and look at those in a moment. There's another thing unique to the United States. The drive-through bank. Let's go look at the old caboose models over here. Let's go flying that down there. Who wants to wait? I think you can even get inside these if you try hard enough. There's 2 here. I think when the game first came out there was only one. I think there was only this one. And at some point we got that one as well. A bit later on. Might be a mastery tile actually. Alright, we're getting properly into the mountains now. We're in 1.5% gradient. Not sure if I can actually move this. There we go. Look at that. 1.5 or 1.4 now. You made a liar of me, game. And we're losing speed fast. I can actually see the needle on the speedometer going backwards. Oh wait, the vertical people can't because my head's in the way. Let's move my head over. There we go. Move my head. We're down to 35 mile an hour. This really doesn't bode well. We're only supposed to be doing 25, but there's not a chance in hell that I'm going to put the brakes on. We'll see how this goes. So when I first saw this service and I saw it's got only 2 locomotives on it and it's got 52 cars and it's 4,500 tonnes. That's American tonnes. They're slightly different to metric tonnes, but not a lot. So I think each tonne is about 2,000 pounds, and it's about 2,400 pounds to a kilo to a tonne of one of our tonnes, I think, remember, for 1,000 kilos. So it's not that different, I guess. We're losing speed so fast, I'm just going to stop looking at it. Better test the sand application, I think. Because we're probably going to need it. But when I saw it only had 2 locos, I thought, I should do this in the rain. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. We're down to 24 mile an hour now, so we're not speeding anymore. We've got rather a long way to go up this hill. Down to 23. This isn't looking good. This is American grindy railroads. suppose that second one is running, isn't it? Let's go listen to it. I'm not actually sure it is, to be honest. Let's have a look. Don't mind me, mate. No, we can't get out that side. Alright, go out this side. Not 100% sure that second loco is actually running. Oh yeah, it is. You can see by the power gauge here. That's interesting, its gen field's off. How are we set up? Trail? Yep. That's fine. Shut this door so the rain doesn't go in there. I think you can open one of these doors, can't you? Which one is it? That one. Ooh. Doesn't really look like it's doing much. We'll just assume it's running. Come on, up the steps. There we go. Get that door shut so we don't get all wet. We're on the grind now. 17 miles an hour. Apple Dogsreth. Hello. Sandpatch grade indeed. He's never seen the train set the cells upright. Yes, it's a bit common, sadly. I can actually hear two engines running, so I'm pretty sure it is running. Don't seem to be losing any more speed. We're down to 16 and staying there, so... But I just kind of felt like going back to the past and bringing it up. But when I was saying before, actually, I didn't finish my sentence. That was naughty of me. I was watching British Ace's stream, and he popped up a poll about when did you start playing Train Sim World, and I answered that I started playing in Train Sim World 2. But after his stream, I was rummaging around in my software cupboard for something else, and I found TSW Heavy Haul on a CD. I thought, I've played for a bit longer. That's okay. I did check that the brakes are set to trail for the independent brake. I didn't check the other ones though, because the handle's in the handle off position, so it's probably fine. And I know that if I sit down the back of the train, that I should be able to get round to see this. The train has pumped up properly, so we're all good there because we're sitting at 90. Handy having this thing, isn't it? Apple says he's been playing since TSW 2020 with the original NYC line. Yeah, it was the Northeast Corridor before it got nuked from the store. Indeed. Yeah, that was the route that went from nowhere to nowhere. It was kind of funny. And it was rather poorly, so it didn't survive the upgrade. Whereas people like Sandpatch, so it got fixed. I'd love for it to get another update so it gets some more containers. That would be cool. If you're wondering why the little things about headlights and stuff keep popping up, it's the rail driver. Train Sim World's never really liked the rail driver very much. I'm sad to say we're down to 15 miles an hour now. Kuminati says he got CSX Heavy Haul and sunk about 20 hours into it and abandoned it until earlier this year. Yeah, I got the impression it didn't last long with me because I didn't know about banking com, which meant you couldn't get 3/4 of the trains up the hill, so it's just like, What's going on? And these things were never explained to new players. If you happen to catch one of Matt's streams, then you knew about it. But if you didn't, you were just stuffed. But these days there's a bit more information about it, so it's not so hard to figure out what's going on. So we're still at 15, heading towards Mance, which is, Mance is one of the big nasty curves. And I think we've probably got a little bit more than 9.6 miles to Nance, because the game measures in the straight line, whereas we're following the track. Funnily enough, that's what trains kind of do. So what routes are you playing? Actually, let me pop a poll in each of the chats and say, when did you start playing? I don't know if polls work on the mobile, actually. Can I do a poll? Yes, I can. Heavy haul. Let's keep this simple. I was doing lots of things, but not worth it. 2. TSW3. I'll only put this in the horizontal one. I can't put that many in. I can only have 4 options. Oh. Alright, let's put heavy haul or TSW2. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's do that. Let's see how that goes. So I'm not going to put it in both chats because I don't actually think polls work on the vertical. It's quite a pretty route, this one, even in the dark, because you get the nice moonlight on the river. You need to pick the right day and time, though. And you pick the right day, so you've got a full moon up in the sky, which should be up there somewhere. There it is. That's no moon. That's a space station. Oh, it is running. Look, you can see the plumes of Greta's coming out of it now. Apple asks, do I think TSW will ever have Aussie roots? I think at some point, yes, because I think it will get a local developer. Whether DTG ever do one, I know Matt did live out here for a while, so there's potential, but of course it has to be something that's commercially viable for them to bother doing it. So, yeah, maybe, would be the answer I'd give you. Cumberland said I was too used to the HUD in Train Sim Classic. Wasn't till I saw a TSW4 video. They put a lot of info back in the HUD. And the original TSW HUD was bare. Yes! Kind of like the one I run now. Still at 15 mile an hour. We're just flicking back and forth between 15 and 16. So we're still doing okay. The fact that we've gotten this far suggests we might actually get up the hill. Bad guy, hello! I am very well, thank you. And you were looking for something to watch at 12:30 AM. Fair enough. Get yourself a big can of Dovetail and settle down. We're heading up the grade at maximum possible power. Achieving all of 15 miles an hour. So I don't know if I'll make my 90-minute time limit, but we'll see. We've only got to get to the top of the grade, and it's a bit quick after that. Hello, David Smith. You were before that. Found your original TSW PS4 disc last week. Nice. Very nice. That's actually not a bad spot to have a view. Just sit here. Bad Guy 89 says, actually just give me a six-pack of whatever they drink and Call of Duty Zombies and I'll be alright. Excellent. Now, I think my approach in a zombie apocalypse would be to sit up on my roof with a beer. Just watch the mayhem unfold. And wait till they come and get you and you can be one of us. Apple says it's the witching hour for me, 3:30 AM and colder than a witch's tit here in southeast GA. Ah, in the lovely state of Georgia. Fantastic. I remember Georgia when I used to live in America. I lived in California in the city of Oakland. And we drove across the country once in a Winnebago because you kind of have to. It's like a rite of passage. Everybody has to do it at some point if you live there. And I remember Georgia. We got off the interstate and we thought we'd go and find a campground to stay the night in because we were running later than expected. And driving through this little town, and there's Spanish moss hanging down from the trees, which I thought was kind of pretty, and there's all this mist everywhere, which I thought was kind of pretty. And then we came across a whole lot of people sitting in the back of a utility, or a truck as you'd call them, sitting in there with shotguns drinking beer, and I'm thinking, well, okay. We're in that kind of town. My grand plan at that end of the trip was to hit the Cass Scenic Railway, but we didn't actually make it because we stopped in West Virginia, not very far from Cass. And other half had some people to go and see in West Virginia, and we just hung around at a campground, and I just took the opportunity to rest, to be honest, because I'd been driving for about 25 days at that point. So I just spent a couple of days doing nothing, so it didn't actually get to Cass. One day. Bad Guy 89 says, CSX Heavy Haul, great route. I just wish they'd add the longer trains on it and make it so much better. Yeah, double the train length, that would be nice. I'll give you that. And Bad Guy says, don't forget about a large bag of crisps and maybe some pizza. Sounds like a plan. Apple says, that's completely fair. Before I move to Australia, I'm going to try and go from Georgia up to Maine in a crappy old ute with a bed camper slapped on. That sounds like an excellent idea. It actually is a country that's quite friendly to people who are just driving around. I don't know what the numbers are, but there's a fairly significant percentage of Americans that do exactly that. They leave their homes and they just drive around for the rest of their lives, so it's not unusual at all. Bad Guy says, love it, driving across the country in a Winnebago. I can only imagine the stories you can tell from that. Well, I learnt something. I learnt that a big block 454 Chevy V8 can't actually suck enough fuel to run in the mountains of Colorado without having an electric fuel pump on it. I learnt that the hard way. Criminati says it's on the bucket list, drive across Australia to Perth. Yeah, why not? I've done 2 trips across the Nullarbor. In, of all things, a Datsun 120Y. Thanks, Dad. Apple says nomad lifestyle is one of the few things that's still financially viable. Yeah, friends of mine live in an RV and they took it down. It's a great big bus one, about the size of a Greyhound bus. And they took it down to Florida, of all places, just before the big hurricane. They were lucky though, they got beaten around a little bit, but their bus survived, and they survived, and their pets all survived, so they're okay. I seem to remember in the original version of this crossing didn't work. Appears it does now. There's even a nice bench to sit on to watch trains. Hello, Dre Dreamer. How are you? Kuminati says, I don't know if I'd buy a camper van or do it in my Falcon. It'd be hard yards in a Falcon, mate. The 120Y was pretty awful. Apple says, glad they're safe. That hurricane hit pretty hard. Yeah, it did. I don't know if any of you know the streamer Neil TV. He actually lives there, and he was streaming while it was happening. He was on the outskirts of it, fortunately. We've managed to creep back up to 16 miles an hour, so I think we are going to get up the hill. I realise I'm going to sit here and see if this crossing opens now. Bad Guy says, I've always wanted to just get a car, get a sleeping bag, put a mattress in the back of it, and just drive up and park wherever I end up, sleep and continue. The only problem with that is funding it. And the people that want to get in the car with you. Apple says, funnily enough, DoorDash in Folkestone, Georgia all the time. Had a bunch of evacuees come up to Folkestone and decide to start railfanning for the hurricane break. Oh, why not? Yes, Neil is a bit of a mad lad. He's a touch hard to understand if you ever listen to his streams, because he's got a very, very strong speech impediment, but good on him for getting out there and putting himself out there. And I have to say, after listening to him for about 3 years, I actually kind of know what he says most of the time. It does take a bit of effort. Rail Abel, hello, how are you? I see you've popped up in the shorts feed. If you want to watch the traditional horizontal one, it is available. There's a link in the first comment in the chat of the shorts feed one. Of course, welcome to stay in the shorts feed should you desire. It's interesting to see how fickle the shorts people are, because you see people go in, out, in, out, in, out. They don't stay long. Flick, 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 flick. I realise I'm only sitting here to see if this crossing actually works, because I have to know. I don't know why I have to know, I just have to know. We're going to find out. May take a little while because the train has to clear the block. Will it open? Will it just sit here going flash, 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 flash? Ooh, works! Quietly impressed. There's another little bridge. I remember this. This was one of the first ones that had stuff in the water, and they stopped doing it for a while. That rock's a bit close, isn't it? You reach out and touch that. We are starting to pick up a little bit of speed. We've gotten up to 17 miles an hour now. Night Fury, hello! I have both vertical and horizontal streams going, so if you want to flick over to the horizontal one, you're more than welcome to. There's a link in the first message in the chat, or you can just pop over to the other channel, or I could be really helpful and pop in a new link for you now. There you go. Bad Guy asks, has streaming in the short feed been a success so far? I mean, you know you've only done it a couple of times, but early judgment on it. It picks up a lot of people who just pop in. It doesn't seem to really translate into much in the way of greater views. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's kind of a bit new, being able to do it. And I have to admit, see, I'm from the old generation, okay? So I know that you can use a phone this way and this way. A lot of people don't seem to understand that you can just turn them sideways. That's okay. Looks like a good spot to railfan. We're starting to pick up speed again. We're up to 18 miles an hour now. We're ripping it along. As the great Sam would say, grip it and rip it. Hey, you found it, Night Fury. Welcome along. And Cumberland asked, couldn't they get a license for pond lilies? Perhaps not. Vertical has to be a comfort thing. Holding a device horizontal for a while is harder. Yeah, it can be. Admittedly, with my size phone, holding it either way is actually a pain because it's too big. But I like a big screen, so I put up with it being too big. It still fits in my pocket. I have to be very careful with it on the steam engines if it's in my pocket, which generally it's not. Generally it's locked in the box, but when it is, I've got to be careful because I smashed one. That was unpleasant. Apple says horizontal is good for long viewing, whereas vertical is good for just browsing through and stuff. Oh, vertical's magnificent for browsing and streams and doom scrolling at 2 o'clock in the morning because you can't sleep. I'll certainly give you that. We've seen one train tonight. I wonder if we'll see another one. That's very true, bad guy, who says you don't want your phone becoming fuel for the train either. Yes. Phone, wallet, keys. Not any of these things in the boiler. Not going in the firebox. That would be bad. It's not as though you're ever going to see them again. I was meant to have a trainee tomorrow that I was kind of looking forward to because she's getting quite good, but alas, she has pulled out this weekend. So I'll just have to do my own firing. But that's okay. It's not the hardest day in the world what I'm doing tomorrow. We've got a light engine run up to our midway station at Lakeside. And then I've got 3, or is it 4? Might be 4. 4 trips down to Cockatoo and back up that hill. And then a light engine back again. That would indeed equal out to being a very bad day, bad guy, because if you dropped your keys in there, not only are you not getting them back, you can't get home. You have to ring up the other half and go, can you bring the spare key? To which she would probably reply, walk. Kuminati says, wonder how well a lithium battery fire would go for the fire. It would last about 3 seconds. Ooh, train. It's light engines. Maybe we should steal them and put them on the back of this set. Make it push harder. That would be funny. Yes, the spicy fire. It really wouldn't last long in the firebox though, I have to say. It would not last long at all. Firebox is about 1200 degrees Celsius. What do you reckon? You know what? You never do anything, so I'm going to give you the shits. Watch this. You open your window, make you all wet. That makes me happy. Useless bloke over there who never does a sodding thing. Just sit there getting all wet now. Mind you, I am too, because my window's open, because it sounds better when the window's open. Apple says it will get extra hot for like 5 seconds until all the cells fall apart. Might be a good fire starter. I think it'd be a good fire starter. Kerosene and diesel work quite well though too. I don't have to light my fire tomorrow. There's actually another fireman who'll get there at 4 o'clock in the morning to light it. because we have to leave Belgrade at 7:45, which is means I'll get there and oil it, grease it, and we'll be off. Bad Guy says, sounds like a perfect marshmallow, most of E1200. I stuck a marshmallow in on a stick once and it just kind of went... It didn't last. It's kind of funny. It had to be done. You could use it to cook marshmallows in a station when it's calm. You'd have no problem doing that. Asaho, hello. It's morning for you. Welcome. You're in Germany. We are in the United States, running up the Sand Patch Grade. Is that a crossing? Yes. Must be time for another back porch moment. Let's pick this guy. Oh, we can't get there. Invisible walls. Never mind. There's a good idea for a poll. See what the numbers on that one were out though. Heavy haul TSW2, 50%, 5, 30%, 3, 10%, 4, 10%. Well, that's quite a spread. Quite cool. Here's another poll for you. There you go. Let's see how this one goes. I know what I'm voting for. We're up to a whopping 23 miles an hour now. How are we going for our... Oh, coming around the curve, we're going to got the long straight bit. And then heading towards Mance. I do indeed work for a heritage short line. It's 18 miles long. And it's a lot of fun. We run Australian-built versions of the Baldwin Prairie 262s, their inside frame. We also have a Victorian Railways Garrett, which is in the museum, bit dead. We have two South African Garretts, one operational, one not, the NGG 16129 Garretts. We have a Climax, got some diesels. Good fun railway to work on. Always look forward to my shifts. Soho says, I love this route, it's one of the hardest. Yeah, it is actually. It is difficult. I think driving-wise, downhill, Cajon Pass is probably the hardest one. Maybe Horseshoe Curve second in from the American ones of driving downhill. Bad Guy says, although I think getting rid of invisible walls would cause your computer console to fry itself, just the amount of stuff would have to render. Well, that's interesting actually, Bad Guy, because it actually renders it anyway. Even if it is beyond an invisible wall. I'd like to think that the players are grown up enough that they understand that the scenery disappears the further you get from the line. So I'd like to be able to go wherever I want. I know not everybody's okay with that. Apple says, I'm trying to look into working for CSX in the States. It's really hard to get in without knowing someone. Yeah, that's true. Railways are a one of those things. You're either in the family or you're not. My little railway's fairly open for new people these days, but when I first started there, It very much was not. These days it's pretty good. Oh, we missed a bridge. That's sad. This is the long racetrack section. I know one of the tutorials has you dropping cars here. I like all the noises the carriages make as they rumble through. Bad guy says, good point, but then you wouldn't have to put collision physics everywhere at that point too. Yeah, I think that's all they really mean about taking the invisible walls away, is just not having them. And people just need to understand that if they get away from the modelled area, then it won't look nice. Do you remember Bad Guy when Matt got so excited about raindrops? He was like a little kid on the stream when he showed off raindrops. Illuminati says, from what I've read about railroading over there, not getting in sounds like the best thing. It depends on the railway. Some of them are probably a little bit too in love with precision scheduled railroading, which is really big trains and only a very small crew. And, you know, I'm pretty open that I don't think that's a good way to operate. It's all about the dollar, that one. It's not about safety. But there are other ones around where the operations are good. It was lovely to get this view of a German train and then we're back in the cab of an American train. Just teleport there. Apple says the only real opening I can find for anything railway related is volunteering on my local short line as an actor. They do like whodunit murder mystery things. Yeah, ours do that too. We're doing a Halloween set at the moment with they get a train up to the museum and there's a ghost story in the museum. I stupidly knocked my power back and didn't realise that it had gotten steeper. Since I was outside. Apple said, or going through trade school and working maintenance. You could do that. I keep trying to apply to be a driver as well, or work in the locos. Bad Guy says, fun fact, I have a train line while it's a depot not far from where I live, and you can actually hear them when they go through. They're quite loud. I mean, I don't live close to it. I'm a good 10 to 50 minutes away from it. 15 minutes away from it. Yeah, they can be quite loud. When I lived in Emerald in the Dandenong Ranges, I could hear our trains in Belgrave when they were getting them ready in the mornings, and we're in the same valley, and I was, what, about 9, 10 kilometres away? This is true, Kubernetes. You're only going to read about the bad stuff. Happy employees don't say anything. That is very, very true. It's like looking at something like Glassdoor. It's like the place I work for example, is actually really good. But if you read our reviews on Glassdoor, this is my real day job, the one I get paid for, you'd think we were horrible. But we're not. But it's just the people who didn't fit in that tend to think we're horrible. Asohayo says, regarding the visible walls, you can increase the limits at the cam, and there are DLCs that have no borders default, Blackpool, Nidatal and Birmingham. Yeah, those ones are good. Daydreamer says, invisible walls sometimes stupid walking on foot and you need to walk around a wall to get to a track. Yes, you get stuck. This is very true. It's very frustrating when that happens too. Whoop. Let's go up to the end of this curve and watch the train drive straight at us. Seems like a fun thing to do. It's not much of a curve though. I don't think it'll hit me here. We'll soon know though. Bad Guy says it's a Canadian national depot where they park a lot of freight cars, and when they have to wait for them to cross the road, you're there for at least 10 to 15 minutes just sitting there waiting for all the free cars to pass. Yes, that can be sad when you get a long train like that. You know, I thought I was far enough away that it wouldn't hit me. I was wrong. Apple says, I'm right near a shot line, probably 5 minutes away. I never see or hear them running usually, but right now they are working down the line apparently at 4 in the morning. Yeah, we have to work odd hours when we're doing major things. We're doing level crossing replacements and things like that. It's always done at night time. A person. Are you lost? You okay there? You're just wandering around in the middle of the night. It's like 2:43 in the morning. I'm just going home. I don't think I've ever seen a person on same approach grade before. That's funny. I don't know if we'll see any more. There's a school bus at 2:43 in the morning. It's stopping next to me now. I can't follow the person though, because I can't go in there. They're going to come out this side of the house? Where do they go? Well, this guy's had an Amazon delivery, look at that. Maybe he got to that train in Chicago. The one that lost half its stuff. Ooh, 1.6%. We're getting steeper. I'm back down to 15 mile an hour now. Community says, if my driver can infinite sprint, my driver should be able to do parkour over a railing at stations. Sure. Yeah, when you get stuck and you just want to go home and you're waiting at the lights. You can understand sometimes why people do actually run the lights in front of trains, but don't do it. Not safe. I think this is only a little walkway crossing, so we'll just give it a little honk. Could be night classes, Bad Guy. And yes, dressed like a burglar. Maybe that's what they're learning. How to be a burglar. Wouldn't it be funny if someone was walking up the road next to the grade and they beat the train? Apple says, I'm half tempted to drive around, try to track down the train, honestly. I'm curious what loco they were running. We've seen them rarely running an old F unit for freight ops. Would be cool to see. Well, it's always fun to sneak up on them and watch what they're doing. Why not? We're almost at the intermediate point. We're still not over the grade though. We've got a long way to go to get over the grade. Here the big spit valve's working overtime. Kubinati said he ordered one hard driver. Amazon sent him a crate of hard drives. Could be possible. Gray says, what would be an interesting Australian route? I'd like a commuter route because our freight lines don't run a lot of trains. So you'd maybe have a timetable with 5 trains in it for a whole day. So who knows? You know, Kuminati, when you say the train always wins, does at crossings, I'm actually firing soon on a train for our running festival, where people try and beat the train. They never do. Have a great one, Apple. Enjoy your time, and if you find that railway, enjoy it. So I asked before, yes, this is a regular service. This is QO15, the intermodal. Leaves at 1:33 in the morning. It's running up to Rockwood. Don't you hate it when you press the wrong button? We're almost up to the place where it gets very curvy. Cumberland says, personally would like Newcastle, Sydney, very steep at Cowan and follows the river along the waterfront. Yeah, that could be nice. The Blue Mountains line would be nice. The Werribee to Frankston would be nice. Be quite a few good ones. Something from up in Queensland would be nice too. I'd really enjoy the Sunlander, but you know, it only runs once a week. So probably not a great choice. I did see a whistle sign, so I'm waiting for the crossing. I think I see it. Yep. Bad Guy asks, have you noticed since the last update to TSW5 that German trains seem to spawn with their brakes locked? I've had a few of them spawn like that and it takes me 5 minutes to figure out how to unlock the brakes. Yes, I have. It's something happened in the last patch for quite a few of them. I know one of my regulars, Michael, is quite pissed off about it. The other thing he's found, I haven't been able to reproduce it, but he's found he can't unlock the brake keys on some of them, which is a bit of a problem. There's also on West Coast Mainline, they put some buffers in at Euston that weren't there before. And that's made a few of the trains derail at startup because they're basically where the buffers are. Find a spot that I can nestle in down behind the fence. This looks good. This is high-speed railroading at its best, folks. 15 miles an hour. Bit of tearing going on, isn't there? I think I might have my screen percentage turned up too high. Yeah, definitely not just you. Hopefully it's a something that's fixable easily. And hopefully we don't have to wait for big patch number 4. We're almost at the midpoint of the climb. Still managing 15 miles an hour. There were a few issues with the last patch, that's for sure. I think a lot of it was good. But yeah, it's brought in a couple of unwanted things, definitely. Yeah, it does happen. Things tend to get added in at the last moment. I love the wheels going through the track on the curve. They're not quite the right height. Well, that's not good if it's that much of the German content unplayable. That would almost guarantee a quick patch. Because, you know, Lucas. If he knows about it. So many wheels. Oh, we better go and see what's happening up here at Mance, I suppose. Ooh, we've picked up 0.5 mile an hour in speed. Stunning. We still haven't even reached the tunnel yet. Once we reach the tunnel and we top the gradient on the other side of the tunnel, it'll be a little easier going down the hill on the other side. Actually, I don't think I've ever used the dynamic brakes on this train. It does have them. We'll soon know how well they work. Bad Guy says, I've seen it on the BR101 and a few other ones. The only ones that noticed it on the diesels, but the electrics seem to do it. Yeah, that's not good. Another whistle post. It does happen though, sadly. I've been taking a rest from beta. I'm going to pick up beta again when the VR game comes out. And I'll run that one in beta, but I just want to be able to run the game for a while. It's the only problem with beta is you do some play, you notice a problem, you've got to log the bug, it takes a while. You get back to play again, if you can. So there are some times that I just like to bow out of beta for a while and just play. The tiny township of Mance. Whee! Mance Post Office. Let's go and sit on the chair. Watch our train. Asahel says, I don't have a NASA computer, the opposite. I had to turn off a lot of layers in Frankfurt. At least you can turn the layers off now, so that's helpful. You don't have to uninstall stuff anymore. It used to be bit of a nightmare having to uninstall everything. So that was a good feature that was introduced in 5. Highly appreciated. If you don't know when you're starting a route, or starting a timetable, you can actually choose what layers are on. And then it's a bit easier on the computer. Mine's been pretty decent these days since the microcode update, but I went through 3 CPUs getting them all replaced by Intel because they kept frying. And sometimes that would happen on a live stream, which is really embarrassing. But I did build a nice computer to stream with because in the early days, back when COVID happened, and I started doing this because it was something to do and it was fun and it was a way to meet and talk to people, I didn't have a great machine. And I was just sitting on the couch one day watching TV, and my son came home and dropped a 3090 in my lap and said, "Your stream's a slideshow," and walked off. And I thought, well, that's nice. Yeah, I don't think Intel was a very big fan of mine because they actually argued on the last one. And I had to point out Australian consumer law to them that a replacement product inherits the warranty from the primary product. And it doesn't matter how many times it's replaced, that stays true. So the original one I bought would have been still in warranty, so they had to replace it. They eventually did. And since the update, it's actually been really good. It doesn't even run hot anymore. I'm running at about 54 degrees Celsius, which is awesome. Mind you, it's got the water cooling set up from hell on it. It's could cool a barbecue, this thing. Criminati says, note to self, get Sun to buy me top-of-the-line GPUs. Yeah. I think I was running I think it was a 1070 Ti or something like that. And I was trying to stream with that. And it really wasn't going that well. It was funny on Match Charity stream because I ran my video of Flying Scotsman on West Coast Mainline as part of his charity stream. And I made a comment that the 8cam was actually tree cam because you always end up in a tree, and Matt typed in the chat, note to self, delete all trees. Bad Guy says, I think that's true in a lot of countries actually, because I've had that happen with a few different items where you get a replacement to break, you get another replacement that breaks, and so forth. Yeah, America has a very similar law to our consumer protection, but getting it to actually happen sometimes can be quite difficult. And you often have to get into a bit of a discussion with them and threaten them with things like taking them to VCAT, which works quite well. Because you don't need a lawyer to go to VCAT, just costs you $70, and if the judge says you get it, you get it. Oh, we're down to 13 mile an hour now, we're 1.7 gradient. We're on Struggle Street. We've got 5.8 miles to the summit. Community says it's literally my day job, and seeing what companies do and don't do is wild. Yeah, very much. Bad Guy says this is the primary reason why I stick to console gaming for my primary stuff, just so much easier and you don't have to worry about replacing graphics cards and upgrading this and doing that. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's an Xbox sitting right there, so... I do have the Xbox. The eldest has a PS5 upstairs that he plays and he bought. The Xbox I mostly use for Game Pass. Stuck in a signal post. Because sometimes it's nice to just play a non-train game. I play lots of story games and puzzle games and all sorts of stuff I find on Game Pass that I'd never normally buy. And they're just cool. Community says most manufacturers have A stock, B stock, devices that fail testing get sold in regions with no consumer laws. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. bad guy's got a PS5 and also got the Xbox Series S, which sort of fell into his lap. Yeah, I bought an Xbox Series S from a meth head. I still have it. It's my Series S. I did have this grand plan of setting up the S and running a side-by-side thing with the PC, just divided into thirds to see what they looked like, and it's way too much effort. Illuminati says, a few years ago one of my company's devices were dead on arrival out of the box, only sold in one country, and that country had no consumer recourse. This thing is signal flickering, aren't we? Must be a tree in the way or something. Oh, we're at the tunnel. I think the S is okay. And the X is a lot better, but the S is okay. See if I can make the wipers stop. No. We're almost at the summit. This is good. Uh-oh, we're outside the tunnel. That was unintended. Mine was a very similar price, bad guy. A couple $100. I'm sure he was just looking for his next hit. It was his. I did check if it had been stolen, and it hadn't been. We are about to pop out of the tunnel. I won't be able to race up there from this angle. I don't know if I can do it there. No. I wanted to get it popping out of the tunnel, but I can't get out of the train to run up there. Never mind. Yeah, I'd keep Train Sim World on your... It's just putting in the dinner order. Well, we're almost at the summit. We're inside a rock. Excellent. We're stuck in the rock, in fact. We have started picking up speed. I am probably going a little fast. No, it's not too bad, actually. We'll start throttling back, because if we go over the hill on notch 8, we're going to go crazy. Tam Walker likes the old style cab of the CSX C48W. It is a nice machine. No computers. It's all up to you. I better start getting off the juice, because we've come over the top of the grade. I can't say dynamics are going to work very well at this speed, but let's give them a crack. I'll probably have to do some air brakes, I think. Slow it down. Can the dynamics actually slow it down from 35 mile an hour? I'd be a little bit surprised, but we'll see. I think I'll be doing a whopping brake application shortly. I think I may just do that, and let's bail off so we don't lose the dynamics. There we go, that's starting to have an effect. I'll get it back down to about 20, I'll be happy. Alright, let's get the brakes off now. Let that little compressor pump away. Yeah, you do have to be a little bit careful with people selling stuff in case it is stolen, because it's not a good look to be buying someone's pinched stuff. It'd be much better if they got it back. Here's the crossing with the wayward excavator. Still here? Yes. Oh, it's not halfway in the ground anymore. I'm sad. Oh well, this would be a good view. Dynamics back a little bit. It's only a 1% gradient now. Yeah, stuck between a rock and a hard place indeed. So her says, I don't have the C40 add-on, more powerful than 38 and 40. Yes, definitely. It's not as powerful as an AC44, but it is more powerful than the SD40. I always thought it was hard to drive. I don't know why, but I always did. We're going to come off the gradient fairly soon, so I'm not too worried about the speed going up a bit. Community says, got to run. See you later, mate. Thank you very much for joining in. Glad you were here. That goes for everybody who's watching, whether you're chatting or not. You're all very, very welcome. It's all about just having fun. So we're probably at about the 2/3 mark. Seems to be... I was going to say it's holding speed, but it's not anymore. It was. The gradient increased again. But that's okay, because this one you can apply the air brakes while you've got the dynamics on, as long as you bail off. Which we will. Bad Guy says, exactly right, I mostly just hang out for the random banter streams. They're really good for that. That's exactly what streams are for. Random banter. They make Sandpatch interesting. Daydreamer says, was it so hard for the dev team to make a moving patron for livestock in the grasslands? I would love to have cows and sheep that wander around. I really would. I often make fun of the very, very low resolution animals that are in the game. They're really not good. I would definitely appreciate better looking animals. I wonder if I turn the wiper switch on a bit, will it stop giving me silly messages about the wipers? I don't know. Global, hello. Yes, it is. How are you? You're in the vertical stream. You're absolutely welcome to watch that if you like. There is also a horizontal stream. You can find a link in the chat. We're currently running towards Salisbury. We've come over the grade at the top of Sand Patch. And we're gradually heading down the hill. I'm going to let a bit of the dynamics off now. We're on our way to Rockwood. I think I'm not far off the time limit I set for this stream, but that's okay. We'll keep going. Bad Guy says, not sure if you ever played Train Life. That game had some animals in it that were pretty good. It's really too bad that they stopped developing that game. The game had a lot of potential. I agree it did. It definitely did. It was looking like it was going to be a decent one. And they dropped the ball, sadly. I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe it cost more than they thought it was going to cost to make. Didn't sell well enough, I'm not sure. But it certainly had some possibilities. Because despite having that funny little thing down in the corner, for the ambassador thing, I do play a lot of train games. Like this Sunday morning I'll be playing Railroader. Yeah, I agree, Trey Dreamer. I think these things are small, but having such poor livestock does actually make a difference. That was a bust. Of course, we popped out in a tree. As you do. Another little town that must be oh so delighted to have me honk through the crossing at 3 o'clock in the morning. They'd be going, oh great, another train, especially the people that live there. That's where you're talking to the realtor when you're buying the house and you go, do the trains run through much at night time? No, no. No. And they just laugh all the way to the bank. My evening is good, Global. I'll actually be going to bed pretty soon, even though it's still very early, because I've got to be up very early tomorrow to fire a steam engine. Not as early as usual. I can sleep in. I don't have to get up at 4 AM. I have to get up at 5 AM. So I have the luxury of someone else lighting my engine before I get there. That'd be another one. See, you just know that this is someone's little granny flat. They go, here you go, Mum. You can go live out here. You'll never hear the trains. Not once. Not ever. No, no. Gratuitous bridges. Pretty busy for 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh. That's a good one. Whee! So if I stop him here, what happens to the next one? He's going to float over the top, isn't he? Whee! Oh, that's so funny. We've got to watch another one of these. There you go. Oh, it's too much fun. I don't know that much brakes. A little bit. Conjured up my inner kernel, apparently. Excellent. I am going a little bit fast. I am somewhat out of control at this point. That's okay. It'll be fine. No issue at all. I've got the brakes on. The needle's showing some signs of moving to the left. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. There you go. I'll put the short stream back so they can see the speedo again. That's it's a bit quicker than you really want to go. Squeezed out the 4. Oh well, it's all good. Asahara says, I found you a few days ago. Very nice content. Oh, thank you. Subscribed and like. Discord got to see. Fantastic. I hope you enjoy what you find. It's always good. Global says, glad to hear that, mate. An early one. Enjoy the day tomorrow. That should be fun. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it should be a good day tomorrow. I'm out with Lindsay, who is an outstanding driver. It's also very funny. So he and I tend to just annoy each other all day. There's a giant windmill in the dark up there. Lots of windmills, in fact. Let's watch them over here. This looks like a nice spot. Almost at Salisbury, which means we're not very far to go to Rockwood. I've quite enjoyed this run. Ivan, hello. First time watching. Well, welcome to you. You can either watch the shorts feed or you can watch the horizontal feed. And just drop a new link into the chat. You know, the Invisible Walls poll was pretty, yep, 100%. Coming into the town of Salisbury. Bad guy says, it's alright, you're no longer playing Train Sim World, you're now playing Train Sim World in space. That happened to the Colonel a few times, didn't it? Whee! Train gone. Probably time to knock the dynamics off. Because I think we're going to be going uphill again soon into Rockwood. Ivan asks, how's the new train sim? Did they change anything in the previous game? There are some new features, being able to turn layers on and off. There's fast travel, so you can move around a route without having to walk there or ride a train. You can jump between routes now, some of them anyway. What else is new for Train Sim World 5? I think that's the main things. And of course there's 3 new routes. It's Kinzigtalbahn or Fulda Frankfurt, so new city. There's San Bernardino route in California, which is a new passenger route, which if you own Cajon Pass or you buy the Deluxe, has got some freight as well. And it's good short haul freight too, not like this long thing. I actually quite like driving Sandpatch Grade, to be honest, because it changes, because it's up and down and it's got curves, and you actually have to pay attention a little bit, not just put it in notch 8 and leave it there. I think I might start stretching the train out for the uphill part. A good idea, I think. So I have got a vertical stream running and a horizontal stream running. Right now there's 2 people watching the vertical stream, which is Global and Ivan. And there's 19 watching the other one, which is pretty good. Yeah, Bad Guy says there's no one better than Sam when it comes to launching trains. Indeed. The man has skill. And what's really funny is I haven't put a train into space for a really long time, but I actually saw Sam run the game again for the first time in a while on his channel. Colonel Failure channel. If you haven't ever watched it, you should. It's very funny. He did it. Oof. I assume he's running a current version of the game. I couldn't imagine that he'd ever get a situation where he couldn't have as many keys as he wanted. We'll start climbing again soon, so I'm stretching the train out. We'll start picking up a bit more speed. It's a fairly gentle gradient up to Rockwood, if I remember it right. Oops, too far. Too far. This is called How to Amuse Yourself. Yeah, the signals have come a long way in the game, haven't they? They don't look like this anymore. That should go red in just a moment. Dunk. Ooh, gratuitous bridge. Ah, where's the bridge? Ivan says, I bought a DLC from the previous train sim and somehow I can't play it. Have you got the game? Now you can get Train Sim World 5 for nothing right now. You can download the free starter pack, find it in your store, and it will upgrade that DLC that you've got. If you're playing on Xbox, you might have bought it when it was in Game Pass, and you can only play the DLC while the game's in Game Pass. It is at the moment, by the way. But you can also grab the free starter pack and you should be able to play it. The only DLC that you won't be able to play is the really old NEC, the original one. So that one hasn't caught up. Bad Guy says, I am sure Matt used to love Sam when he would absolutely break the game. I can imagine those two had some legendary banter together, as well as it's too bad Sam doesn't work at Dovetail anymore. Yeah, Sam was awesome. I remember when they used to run the Sam keeping Matt honest streams, and Sam would pretend to be mad at Matt, and it was just so funny. They're actually the best of mates. I actually thought we were going uphill to Rockwood, but it looks like we're going downhill, so I'd better get back on the dynamics. Just let that start to bite. There it goes. I think Sam would be super popular on one of Matt's charity streams and would probably take the grand total from £5,000 to $10,000. I think he would draw in that many people, particularly if he mentioned it on his channel that he was there, or he dual streamed or something like that. Ivan on the other chat says, I'm on PlayStation 5 and I'm looking forward to buying the new Train Sim. The Train Sim games are so relaxing and I love watching people playing the game. Awesome. Well, make sure you grab the free starter pack. Because you can actually have TSW5 for nothing, and your old DLCs will work with it. Let me just see if I can find a link to the PlayStation Store. There it is. So here's a link to the free starter edition that you can just... Oh, that one's standard edition, actually. But there is... Deals? No? Subscriptions? Browse? Latest? Oh, you'll find it in there somewhere anyway. Let me find it. I think it actually knows I've already got it. There it is. Alright. There's the free one. There you go. That's the free one. Sorry, I put the wrong link in the chat before. Putting a bit too much dynamic on there. Bad Guy says Sam and Matt are both wonderful people. I don't think you could possibly meet better people than those two, honestly. No, I agree with that. They're both very, very awesome humans. Just dropping in to see the team at Dovetail when I was in the UK, there aren't many people who would be as busy as Matt is, who would actually take some time out of his day to talk to him about life, the universe, and everything. So that was really cool of him. That was really, really, really good to meet him. Even went for a ride in his convertible. Went to McDonald's. Hey, he's a really, really nice guy. You've never met them in person? Yeah. Have a crack. If you get over to the UK, I reckon you'd be able to beat Matt no trouble at all, because he knows you. Sam I didn't try and contact, because I wasn't really sure. Because I've chatted with Matt quite a bit, because I was in the beta, so I got to chat with him and talk to him about the concept of coming over, and he was quite happy for me to come and visit, but I wasn't so sure about Sam. Whether he would welcome a visitor or not. Because, you know, you don't want to put people out, do you? Because they might say yes just to not put you out, and you don't want to put them out. Yeah, Bad Guy's been in Matt's Discord for years, since 2018, 2019. That's really cool. Now, I've seen you watching him play Wreckfest. I think you've been in Wreckfest, haven't you? You've been playing it with him. Matt doesn't stream very often these days, but I try and catch him when he does. What is this big light-up thing up here? Ah. Roadworks or a mine? I don't know. Global loves Matt too. Yeah, cool. You're welcome, Ivan. Hope you enjoy the game when you get it. Bad Guy says, if I ever do get over there, I definitely inquire with Sam for sure. Love to meet Sam and Matt. They're awesome. Bad Guy says, yes, I've never played it with him because he plays on PC, but I used to hang out in the chat and you just drive him nuts because I can. Yes. I kind of do that too. It's just kind of fun. Yeah, it's nothing quite like the Bad Guy puns. It's funny watching Matt's face when he's on the streams and he reads one of your puns and it's just like... Enjoy yourself, Ivan. Thanks for dropping by. I hope you enjoy the pre-starter edition when you start playing it. Because I kind of know Matt, it's one of the reasons that I simply won't put up with people saying that Dovetail's lazy and things like that, because they're not. If Matt could do everything he wanted to in the game, he absolutely would. And it's just simply constrained. He just can't. But he'd love to. Enjoy yourself, Ivan. Have a good night. Sleep well. Yeah, I haven't seen Moggy for ages, bad guy. I hope he's okay. But yes, he did nail the puns. And Baked Bean Kid also very good at it, yes. Another very long-termer. Three miles to Rockwood Main #1, so not very long to go now, and that's where we'll end tonight's stream once we get up to Rockwood. Or is it down to Rockwood? No, we're on the flat now. So the back of the train should be coming off the hill, so let's start getting off the dynamics. So we've got our first yellow signal coming up, and I'm going to have to brake for that. But I won't do it till I can actually see it, because in theory, there's enough space to be able to do it. Why are you powering? You're in idle. Hey guy says, it's kind of situation now they've been sold to a bigger corporation. I wonder how much the original crew is going to be around. The game companies usually, when they're sold, a lot of the original employees just don't hang around long. I've seen lots of the same faces in the Discord, but you only probably saw, I don't know, maybe 10% of the people in the Discord, so I don't really know. Oh, that's good. So Moggy's studying. That's a good reason to stay away from games for a while. I remember back to school and I think that wasn't very hard, and then having done a new diploma recently, yes it is. Sunday's stream will be Railroader. I've already done most of the shunting to prepare for it, so I spent about 3 hours doing shunting. So I thought I'd get that out of the way this week, because I know a lot of people love shunting, I certainly do. But I know people also don't want to see it every week. And there'll probably be a stream soon. I don't have exact dates of when, but the MBTA is coming out public on the 29th of October. So I imagine, just imagine, that I should have it not too far from now. So. And I have to wait and see what the embargo actually is. I can't schedule something until I know that. So, we'll see. I'm actually really looking forward to Boston for two reasons. The first one is because I'm not doing the beta at the moment, it's going to be totally fresh, and I will still be excited about it when I'm showing it to you guys, which I think will be really good. And because I really enjoyed the other Boston route. It's the most played route I've got. So another one. .7 miles until we stop this beast. We're allowed to go faster, so I'll just let it roll. Just got to remember not to let it get up too much speed, because I have to stop at Rockwood. Because it's a bit sad to go flying along And it's bad at the end of 2 hours. It never feels good when you do that. Bad guy says, all I can say is that is algebra. Yep. Math sucks. And too much stuff coming out this month. Yeah, there is a bit of stuff coming out this month. There's a lot of games coming out. I kind of think, I'm not sure when it's going to hit, but I have a feeling Century of Steam will come out this year. I think it'll come out for Christmas. Maybe even earlier. They've not hinted anything, and that's just my gut feel, because they seem to have finished the world, they've finished the trains, and now they're in the gameplay and management side of it. So if you haven't seen Century of Steam, it's aiming to be a really, really top-notch Steam simulation. So I think that it's got firing, but you don't have to. Hey, Global. It's got proper driving, it's got proper steam test physics, it's got proper brake physics, it's got proper coupler physics. You can brake couplers, you can make the engine explode. I'm looking forward to it. Asahao is looking forward to the Just Trains route and the TSG route. Yeah, indeed. Just Trains one should be pretty good. They're well known for delivering good quality. And they do seem to have managed to have brought that reputation from TSC into TSW and delivered an absolute winner with Blackpool. So I'm quite looking forward to the second one. I'm looking forward to another part of the West Coast Main Line. It's actually one of the really cool things is driving on all these lines that I rode on while I was there. It's just adds a new dimension to it. I even managed to wangle a couple of cab rides while I was there. Didn't happen. Didn't see a thing, didn't hear it. It's okay. No one knows. Nearly there. Bad Guy says a couple of my buddies are going to pick up the new Mario Party for Switch, so that should be a real blast. Yeah, that could be fun. Can't say I've done much with Mario for a while. And Trains is supposed to be coming to console, I think, next year potentially. They're saying, so that should be interesting. A little bit of competition for TSW. Yeah, Trains is more, to me, more like operating a model railway, still. But it looks good, and they've got quite a selection of content, so yeah, it would be a real competitor. They're actually doing some work. I was on the verge of cancelling my subscription because my annual renewal's coming up this month, at the end of the month. And I was thinking, do I really want to pay that money again? Because I got nothing for it last year, apart from having a first-class ticket to be able to download stuff quickly. But there's a whole new game coming, and it's going to be covered in the subscription, so I think I'll keep it. We'll see. Half the time on this route I overreact on the brakes, and then I have to release them and power up to the red signal. Oh, absolutely, Bad Guy. Competition for games is always good. Because that's where money comes from. And having another train game on console widens the audience. So it's actually good for everybody. Once you get saturation like there is in PC, it's not so much because it's hard for newcomers to break in. But with only 2 games, and Trains has already got a massive back catalogue, assuming they bring that stuff in to the console version, I reckon they're going to be on an absolute winner. And that's just better for everybody who plays. It's better for people who are rail fans. It's better for the people who like to collect things. We must have to get really close to that red signal. That's 200 yards. That's not much. Indeed, bad guy when he says EA has monopoly over sports titles like American football and hockey, and the games have gone downhill. When anybody gets too powerful, it's not good for anybody. Because we have to stop this very long train before we get to these red lights. Hope this is close enough, or I'm going to have to power again. Nope, gonna have to power again. Run against the brakes. That's where the guys in the crew change depot are going, what's he doing? He's powering to a red. Doesn't he know he's powering to a red? You shouldn't trigger the SPAD until the front of your train actually goes past it. It's just asked by Odin. This is where we go full beans on the brakes. And hope it's enough. Come on, come on, come on. Let's have a look. Oh, we get kicked out anyway. But let's return to free roam and have a look. Glod! That wasn't too bad. If we return to free roam, how close did I actually get to that signal? Oh, hello. How are you? Can I get out? Oh, she's going to drive off. No, 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 no. I want to get out on the external camera. Ah, can't get out. Oh, well, we'll be leaving the playable entry area shortly. And that's okay. Let's turn that bell off because it's kind of annoying. Oh, well. We'll be out of here soon. We'll be leaving the playable area and I'll end the stream when that happens. Dre Dreamer says train life didn't really cut it. Yes, I agree with that. Odin Moore, if you've got a signal and your front of your train is before it, you shouldn't trigger it. If you do trigger it before that, there's an exception on the German routes though. Some of the German routes have a magnet right before the signal and you might trigger that. It seems fair, doesn't it? Which is right outside. I wish they honked the horn for the crossings. It'd be so much better. The playable boundary is this siding, I'm pretty sure. So we're about to get the white screen of death. I could always just get off, I suppose. Wait, let me jump off. We've lasted much longer than I thought we would. We're just going to keep going with this. I want to see what happens. Well, he has got a wig on, bad guy. Yeah, I think Train Life did have a lot of potential. It looked good, but yeah, that's just life. Thank you, Odin. 9 yards. Odin, so I've been playing a lot of German routes lately, and it does happen on the German route. I'll try another one, though, think. Yeah, the older ones in particular might have closer distances. They shouldn't really, but they could. Bad Guy says, oh, the train completely derailing onto random grass in the middle of nowhere. Yes, my train got nicked. There we go. But as you can tell, it's still playing. But I think we'll leave it there anyway for tonight. So it's been awesome running up Sandpatch Grade after such a long time of having it around. So yeah, good fun. And I'll hopefully see people on Sunday morning for Railroader. And I have done the boring shunting bit, as I mentioned, so we'll be straight into running trains across the railway. There's a lot of stuff to move. We'll still have all the local road shunting to do, of course, but we'll get into that as we go. So thanks heaps for joining in, folks. I really appreciate all of the chat and the banter. It's what makes streaming fun. So thanks to all of you. And of course, naturally, there has to be a cat. Oh, I just realised the cats don't work on the vertical stream. I'll fix that. I'll make the cats work on the vertical stream. All right, have fun, folks. See you later. Bye.